I'm assuming like my anxiety goes to if they don't text me back right away, they hate me now. And and then it's like, what did I say the last time we hung out? What of those things could have been bad? It's the dumbest
And you're
shit.
just in this sounding room
Yeah,
of
and then I'm just
thoughts.
alone in my house losing my mind. It's just, it's good for my diet, but it's like bad for probably everything else, gives me headaches and stuff. It's
I
just
don't know. It's just embarrassing, That's just
why is that embarrassing? You're goofing around.
it's super fun. It is
Yeah,
incredibly fun.
you haven't ever drummed on the steering wheel?
Yeah,
This is like the safer version of
it's
that.
it's
You're
just
just
like
drumming on your drum pads.
I'm just playing unplugged, Like
Yeah,
it's not plugged in and I'm just pretending to play the music, just like singing along.
yeah, yeah.
It's
There's
fun.
nothing embarrassing about that.
Cool. Thank you for validating me, Nick. So I needed that. I needed
Hmm.
sometimes when I'm in quarantine, like right now, I'm alone all day. It's just me and my dog, and I start to go a little crazy.
It's
Kind of like a
easy to
long,
get in
it's
your
like a
head.
long road trip, but just I'm at home.
No, it's real easy to get in your head. That's what I do.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I'm in your same boat but even more so because like I don't live with anybody, so it's just I'm pretty much always by myself,
Yeah.
and so I can really construct a whole narrative that's not real. Like I can be an hour into just this into a spiraling thought where I'm just like, hey,
What
there'd
was
be
this? What
so
was your
many.
latest one? Like, give us a glimpse into your latest like
Oh
spiraling
God,
thought.
no, the what?
Turn
Okay,
this into therapy.
sure,
Did I
sure,
just
let's
turn this
do it.
into
Okay, so there's
therapy?
this girl I've been talking to a little bit here and there.
Okay. Okay.
And we've hung out a few times. It's cool. And like she's not she and I have different texting styles. Her
Okay.
texting style is like send one or two a day, like at random times.
Okay. And what's yours?
Mine is reply usually within half an hour. And I'm not like a text all day person, but I
Okay.
have a lot of anxiety. So
What's your anxiety about? Like, what's that
I'm still
anxiety
really
about?
getting used to the fact that I can text this girl and then wait like a day and then the conversation just continues the next day, like slowly.
Is
And
there
like
like?
I'm assuming like my anxiety goes to if they don't text me back right away, they hate me now. And and then it's like, what did I say the last time we hung out? What of those things could have been bad? It's the dumbest
And you're
shit.
just in this sounding room
Yeah,
of
and then I'm just
thoughts.
alone in my house losing my mind. It's just, it's good for my diet, but it's like bad for probably everything else, gives me headaches and stuff. It's
I,
so fucking stupid,
no, it's not. It's
but it
not.
gives me yeah.
It's very new. I personally, I kind of like when people don't text me back right away. Like I love it. Oh, it's just like, and then it's like special because like if they just respond right away, it's just like I don't know what to talk about. But like I don't know. I just like it. I feel
I
like it's
don't
like a
mind that
sign of
like
they.
I like it to an extent. Like I like that it's not texting all day about fucking nothing because that's way worse.
Okay.
Like nonstop texting about absolutely nothing where you're just like I don't want to just say yeah cuz then
It's like,
I don't want to
still
hurt her
breathing.
now I got to think of another like question that I don't care about the answer to. Like it's a lot of bullshitting.
There's your thing, dude. I'm gonna give you advice right now. Think
Mhm,
of questions about stuff you actually care about. Don't just be like, "What's your
mhm.
favorite color dinosaur?"
That's a great question. Actually, that's now if this one doesn't work out, that's the new Tinder opener. What's your
dude,
favorite color? A dinosaur.
dude, I am curious about this because I heard it on a podcast, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna totally steal it. But is there a deal breaker car that somebody could drive? If like they just drove up in it and you were just like, "Oh hell no, and you're like, "I'm ghosting this. I'm ghosting this person. You
No.
do not drive a PT Cruiser right now. You are not trying to drive that car." Is there a deal
Oh,
breaker
that
car?
PT Cruiser is a dream come true.
That's a keeper?
Oh, that's all the jokes right there. If she can handle that, if she can take those jokes, then she's cool as fuck. Like if
What are
she can
you, a
go up in a PT
surfer in the
Cruiser,
90s?
yeah, just like how did you of all the cars in the world pick the worst one? There are so many options for not much money, and you just somehow found the worst one.
But is there a deal breaker car? Is there a
I don't
car that
think
the
so.
person could roll up in and you would just be like,
No, because if it's a cool person, they just don't give a fuck about cars. Like, if they're cool in other ways, I'm not gonna. I don't know.
But this is your time. Nick, I want you to judge this person via
Oh, I
their
will
car.
judge their car. I'll judge their car and I'll question them on it. And I'll give them shit for it. But it wouldn't be a deal breaker.
So no car, there's no vehicle that would be a deal breaker.
I don't think so.
Really? Just like anything?
Uh,
You are young still. You haven't
you know what?
you haven't
Okay,
been in the dating game.
There's no car, no like functioning automobile car that would be a deal breaker.
Okay.
Because I feel like most of them could be justified, and if not justified by like a real explanation, it could be just like personal taste. Like, I like the way this piece of shit fucking car looks, you know.
Yeah.
And they don't care that it has a CVT transmission or whatever. Like,
Because it would be most cars at this point.
yeah, like a lot of I like cute cars. Oh my gosh, it's cute. A lot of cars that are cute have a fucking CVT transmission and suck. But
Yeah.
like, you know,
But you don't.
what are you gonna do?
I like that though. No
No, I'm not
judgment.
gonna be shallow
Doesn't
on
matter
cars.
on
Now,
cars. What's a deal breaker
if she's a
thing?
grown fucking adult trying to get around on not a car, like some other bullshit mode of transportation, especially if it's some Portland hipster nonsense.
Like a membership to the Bike Town bikes or
Oh
something?
God.
Is
Yeah,
that a deal breaker? Rolled up on
that
a
could
Bike Town
be.
bike, and
That
that's all
could
they've
be.
got.
Or a longboard. I don't know.
$60, and I can use it anytime I want.
I can just use these bikes that everyone rents at the Naked Bike Ride and rubs their taint on for a fucking day. Yeah, oh boy, I can't wait.
I know bike sharing is a whole nother thing in COVID.
Give them
Like-
Clorox wipes when they get in the house. Fucking towel off, getting off that disgusting Bike Town bike. You know what happened to that thing.
Here, you can burn your clothes now. Here's a burn pit. Okay, I like that. You don't have like a deal. I think I would feel the same because I've been thinking about that today.
No, for me, it'd be like a longboard. If you're a grown adult and your main mode of transportation is a toy, then like I'm gonna be
Even an
annoyed.
electric longboard that's $1,000.
It's an expensive toy. No,
It is.
you're going to be killed. You're going to end up in the road and be killed accidentally by somebody that doesn't see you in a real mode of transportation, like a car.
Like if you're not in college and you're rocking like a longboard
If you're
situation.
a grown adult, you're out of college, you have
And it's not like, oh,
No,
I'm
you're just
foreign, so
over
I can't get a
21.
driver's license here. Like it's just like,
get a bicycle if you can't get a driver's license. Take the bus, take a Uber. I don't be riding around on a damn toy like it's a real option of transportation.
like
It's
I
one
have
thing
a
if you
Lime
skate
scooter
at a
membership.
skate park as a hobby like you do.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Even that sometimes, depending on their justification for it, I question, because you're gonna get yourself hurt.
Dude, sometimes I'm at the skate park and it's just a bunch of
No,
children.
you're gonna
and
get
I'm
yourself
like,
hurt.
I am a grown ass and then I fall. Like the other day I fell skating and I was laying there and these like the only other people there were like 4 teenage girls
Yeah,
and
no,
their mom.
it's
And they
not
were like,
long. You
"Are
might
you
need to,
okay?"
yeah, you
And
might
I was
need to
like,
get one of those life alert things for when you skate.
I was like,
You're
"Can you
getting
just
there,
give
bud.
me a minute?" Because I had knocked the wind out of myself and I was like, God, I'm 30 whatever. And I just knocked the wind out of myself in a
Yeah.
park.
You get the life alert like the old ladies in the commercial.
Like beep, beep. Well, that brings us to our shoe nicely. We're talking
yeah.
about a skate shoe today. Actually, I'm bringing a skate shoe. It's a classic shoe. I'm super excited to talk about these because this was a shoe. I had a couple colorways. I didn't have this particular colorway, but I always wanted it. And there's a lot. I got a lot to say about this shoe. So this is it. This is the Zoom Tray AD. So it's the second. They did 2 Zoom trays. And this is the second one. It was like the first skate shoe that looked like a running shoe, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time it was like there were skate shoes and there were running shoes, and like you were lame if you wore running shoes. And so that's why it's been so hard for me to warm up. Like I have this like deep-seated, like, oh, that's lame, like about running shoes. So even yeah. So, and this is
too cool for school over there.
Too cool for school. Dude, I think the reason I started skating was to get acceptance, and part of getting accepted to that group was saying that running shoes were lame, and that's what I did. So this is their camo colorway. It's a Nike SB, so it is a skate shoe. And this was one of their early shoes this is the second one of the 2. The more popular colorway that still goes for quite a bit of money is they did a McFly of this. I will show.
Yeah, so it's like the mag colorway. It's like kind of silvery.
It's absolutely the mag colorway, and that one goes for quite a bit. Now, one of the cool things about this shoe is it has this toe, and you can see what I'm going to talk about as well, but it's like this rubberized material. I don't know how else to describe it. It's kind of like it's got holes in it, but it's breathable, and it was really durable, and that's why they put it on there. Because when you skate and you like flick your tricks, it was like, I don't know, it was about adding some technology. And so these shoes, when you skated them, lasted forever. And they were super light because they're like running shoes. So they're like foam and incredibly, and like the tongue, it's just like this thick mesh. I don't know if I can, it's just like, it's a puffy mesh material, and it's really soft as well as really breathable. And these were like the best skate shoes. I love them so much. And I remember I was rocking them. I had kind of a lame colorway, and I'll show you guys the colorway that I had. One of the colorways that I had. And I remember getting made fun of by my friends. They were just like, "Oh, Bjorn in the running shoes." And at this point, Nike was pretty uncool in the skate world. It was like sort of uncool to rock Nikes.
Okay.
And it's crazy because now all you see is people skating New Balance, Adidas, and Nikes. That's it. Like all the other skate companies have just gotten like destroyed.
Wait, New Balance and Adidas make skate shoes?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Or is it just Adidas? Or are they just skating like Sambas and Superstars?
No, they make skate shoes. They have an actual skate shoe line. I've tried. They're too narrow for my feet.
Oh, okay. And New Balance makes skate shoes too?
Yeah, I haven't gotten a pair yet. Because I kind of still rock the Vans.
Okay.
I tried a few other things, but like
Vans are still a thing though, right? Like skaters still wear Vans, right?
Yes. I mean, there are companies around, but it's just overwhelming. It's just really fascinating to me because it was like back in the day when you go to the skate park, like you never saw anyone wearing Nikes. It was always just like, oh, what are you, a jock? Like it was a super, it was not cool. And it wasn't until they did the SB thing. I don't know if I've gone on the full SB rant of the history of that. I'll just go for it. Basically, They started making smaller runs of more exclusive colorways, and then the sneakerheads got into it. And this is how I kind of went the wrong way into sneakers.
You have told me this, right? And you said like they did regional exclusive drops.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would just get whatever was at the skate shop.
Yeah.
And you would just get the Nike SB that they had on the rack there. But then when you'd go to other towns or like other regions, they'd see those that you had beat to shit that they couldn't even get.
Yeah.
Because their shop had their region had like a different colorway. And so and that's how you found out that some shoes were valuable.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Like
so I'm pretty
know.
sure you have told that story on another episode. If you haven't heard Bjorn tell that story,
I've
Start
talked
with
about it.
episode 1 and listen to our whole catalog.
Yeah, just listen to the
You
whole
won't regret
catalog.
it at all. We have nothing but the hottest heat
The hottest
coming
shoe
at you
talk. So I
on this
actually
podcast.
bought these off. I got these shoes off of eBay, and now something I did realize though that I am missing on this, and I
Mhm.
tried to find it. They had a camo lace that came with this, but I
Hmm.
did not get the camo lace. It was pretty lame.
I don't think it would look that good anyway.
It was pretty lame, and I remember because that was the sort of the lace that it came with.
Right now it's like a camo shoe, but you've
Yeah,
got a cream
it,
colored lace in it.
it
And
has
that looks
camo
kind
on
of
the
cool.
back, but with the cream color, yeah, the camo laces were lame. And I
Mhm.
remember this shoe, and I really wanted it, but I kind of hated the
The camo
lace.
lace.
Yeah, didn't realize that they came with the cream lace that
Ooh.
it looks really good with. So I bought these off of eBay for $87 because it's in my eBay account. I was able to find it. How much? I think it was like this was like the last thing I bought on eBay. I bought these about a year ago.
Now, what
And
year are those from? Like, what year were those shoes made?
2007, it's 2009, I believe, for the
Okay.
AD. Let me
So
just
these,
double
when you
check.
bought them, were a 10-year-old pair of shoes. Now they're 11 years old.
Uh, they are from uh 2008.
2008. So they're a 12-year-old pair of shoes.
These are 12 years old. That's why they're degrading. I've had to re-glue all this because it started to separate. But they're still an incredibly comfortable pair of shoes, even this old. And these ones were definitely, they were worn very lightly. I could tell that they were worn. They weren't like completely dead stock, but they weren't worn much. I could tell that. And they came with the original box and everything, which I do not have because my partner threw it away. But I've had to re-glue all of this. And then as soon as I started wearing them, it started cracking and like pieces were like falling off, which is really unfortunate. And why I didn't buy, because at the time that I purchased these, I found like 4 other colors in size 10 and everything on eBay for under, they were like $80 or $90. And I was going to buy all of them. And then I got these and they started cracking immediately. And I was like, I'm not buying any more of these. I'm going to keep with these. But then now, as I was like kind of prepping for this episode, I'm like kind of bummed that I didn't get all of those colorways because it'd be kind of cool to have.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
kind of annoying though that since they're that old, like that plastic stuff degrades
I
like
know. And this was the funny thing about this was to make them last longer, which is almost
Mhm.
ironic. Because they
Well, it
didn't last a
probably
long time
helped
to
them
skate.
last a long time when they were new. But
Yeah.
then at some point, like I think just those kind of materials just degrade
Yeah.
with air. They just dry out.
Yep. I think that's what it is. I mean, it's a really interesting. I mean, like you can feel it. It's like this like rubber plasticky. It's
It feels the way it looks.
I
Like
guess
it kind of looks like it would be kind of a hard plastic,
it's
like
more of
or a rubbery plastic.
yeah, it's more of
Like,
a rubber, like a rubber mat or something.
so is it kind of like if you rub your like the outsole of a lot of shoes, like that
Kinda.
texture,
Yeah, kind
like
of like
that
that.
level of softness?
Yeah, but it's still
Okay.
pretty soft.
Yeah.
And it sucks that they don't I really want them to bring this shoe back. I would be very, very hyped if they brought this shoe back.
I would too, actually. I would buy a pair of those if they retroed them. Those are cool.
The
But
wild
I'm
thing
not gonna
is I
buy
would
them
want to
now.
skate them. That's the crazy
Yeah,
thing is
buy
they were
two.
so great to skate.
Yeah,
Then I would
Wonder
feel bad if like,
Rock.
especially if these dropped again, they would sell. Like everyone that I've showed them to, they're like, oh, that's a cool pair of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
These were definitely, in my opinion, these were super ahead of their time. Because
Yeah,
now,
they kind of seem like right now those would fit. Those would
absolutely,
fit in with the aesthetic.
this is what everything looks like now. But it didn't look like that at the time. You looked so weird at the skate park because everyone was wearing like Vans or whatever, or a Vans type thing, Vans DC type shoe.
Yeah, like kind of a chunky, blunt skate shoe.
Yeah. And it was like The other thing was vulcanized was really taking off, and this is a cup sole. This isn't a vulcanized shoe.
Mm.
But it has a lot of flex and board feel to it, and it
Okay.
skated. I just remember it skating really nice out of the box, and it was light. It was light and breathable, which you don't really normally think about. But like Nike came into this and they're like, we're going to do technology because that's what we do. Is
Mm-hmm.
sports technology that we put in our shoes. And skaters were more about like it was more really about fashion, honestly. Like
Yeah.
they pretend like they care about technology. They don't. It's about fashion, really. It's about the aesthetic and how you look. And this was too much looking like a sportsy type shoe.
Mm-hmm. That's like was that like the rich kid shoe? Like the kid who wasn't good at skateboarding and then read up and got all the high tech gear.
Yeah. That would be this shoe
Okay.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's like the guy that starts hunting and shows
Mm,
up with like all these electronics and like the fanciest camo and all that shit
mm-hmm.
and then doesn't know what to do, like
Yeah,
stomping through the woods and like breaking branches
it kind of is
to
like that.
bring it into my world.
And these were more,
That literally no one can
dude.
relate to. That's
The
listening
other,
to a sneaker podcast. Hey, if you can relate to hunting and sneakers, hit us up in the comments
yeah,
because it's like it's
yeah,
probably just somebody like me
a
and we
Venn diagram that is
yeah we
that is
should.
just Nick
It's pretty
alone.
much just me, but like it might be other people too.
I'm sure there's some.
Yeah, I'd like to meet those people, or at least like maybe not. I don't know
Converse
if
with them.
I don't know. They might be cool.
I bet
Way to
there's some
rule them
people
out.
out
There's
there.
probably some cool people.
I do also remember this shoe was more expensive than your normal skate shoes. So like skate shoes were usually roughly like $60.
Hmm.
And that's normal. Like that's normally what we would pay. But the problem was, is a shoe would last you in the summer. For me, it would last me like a week or two, and then I would have to buy a new pair of shoes
Oh
because I
wow.
was skating so much.
Hmm.
And so, um, this I remember lasted an entire summer, and it blew my mind.
What did those cost when they were new?
$100.
$100. Okay, so they were like the most expensive shoes, but then they lasted all summer.
Exactly. They
So
lasted a really long
you
time.
ended
So
up
they were.
saving money.
I actually saved money, but I remember, and I think I got them on sale too. Like I got them on a sale rack because I'll show you
Mhm.
guys I'll show everyone the colorway that I had. And then we'll talk about a couple other little things that I found when I was perusing. So here's like a couple on StockX. This is the McFly. I'll pull that
McFly.
up real quick so people kind of see the McFly colorway. It's just the
Like the Air Mag colorway.
it's just the Air Mag with I love the splatter.
Silver
Like
and gray.
I would really like a pair of these, but there's just no way.
Yeah, they're $500 and there's no pairs of them.
And there's two of them available. But the pair that I had this pair and I had this pair, but I mostly remember having this one. This is actually the first. So this is the Zoom tray. This is the first one.
And that one has no laces.
No, it does. They're just tucked in.
Oh, I don't like the way that looks.
That was I remember not liking the shoe, and I just bought it on sale, and then I was just like, it skates so good. Like it skated like nothing I had ever skated before.
Mm.
And so I was like, I just put up with the getting made fun of and was just like, whatever, I'm into these. And then I had these ones as well.
Those ones look a lot nicer, even though they also don't have visible laces. I think that colorway does a better job of using the no lace silhouette.
And it looks like they like reduced the amount that like kind of this part that cuts back into the side. Because really you only are wearing out this part of your shoe. Typically you don't really wear this part too much.
Oh, okay.
And they probably tuck the laces because a thing in skating is you usually break this lace right here from your board rubbing on it. But the placement of this lace, it just didn't ever really reach it. So you didn't really have to worry about it. But those were the colors they had. And it's funny, I was looking on eBay just to see, and there's some of these that are going for so much money. Like 168, $300. These ones have off-white laces in them and look stupid.
Oh, they have the laces from Very Rare with off-white laces.
Like,
What?
what?
What are
I
you
do.
doing?
So this was a colorway that was very popular. I do remember this one being really hard to find at the
The
time.
Rasta colorway.
Yeah, because I
They're
had a
pretty
friend that
cool.
was super hyped and got a pair of them and like didn't skate them, and we made fun of him for that.
Yeah, yeah.
We're like, "Oh, you're not gonna
You
skate
like
them?"
the stoner kid with the Bob Marley posters and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish they were still here, but there was a pair of the ones I have for $350 in a size 10
Oh wow,
on
that's a
here right
lot.
now. And I actually, a little story about these. I posted them on my Instagram or my Instagram stories or something
Mm-hmm.
at one point. And I've gotten so many messages from random people. Like, when you go into they're
Oh
like
yeah, you
message
and there's
requests.
something that says requests and it's just random
Yeah.
ass messages.
Um, I've had a few people offer me money for these shoes, and I'm
Oh wow.
like, I've been like, oh no, I just took a really nice picture. They're cracking and they're not in good shape at all. Like, I would not feel good, selling them. But I've gotten multiple messages because I just like, I don't know, I tagged them with like probably
Like
like
the hashtag for those shoes and somebody was
yeah,
finding
trying to
somebody's
find
looking.
them.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to find them in this colorway.
Hmm.
So they are really hard to get and they're rare, but I'm gonna say I would not recommend buying a pair because likely you're gonna have the problem that I have. And a lot of the ones that I've looked at are like even on eBay and stuff, it's just like they're cracked and I can tell.
Mm.
I would especially be careful buying these shoes if they're the photo from like the website.
Oh, if it's not an actual photo of the shoes, like if it's a stock photo,
If
then you
it's
know
like,
they're gonna be beat to shit.
I don't know if
Or
they're
they're
going to
like
be beat to shit, but I wouldn't
old.
necessarily trust
Yeah.
like a photo that doesn't show
Okay.
really up close.
I did think it was kind of a rule of thumb that there's a certain number of years that like you can expect a sneaker to be kind of wearable, and then
Hmm.
beyond that stuff starts to degrade and crack.
What have
I
you heard
think
like a
it
number?
I don't know, but I think it definitely varies on the model, but like kind of I think anything from the 90s, like Jordans from the 90s and stuff, the midsoles tend to crack from what I've
Yeah.
heard. Like, and I think they may have changed the formulation between then and now. So the newer retros might be a little bit safer,
Yeah.
like the mid 2000s and on, but those are mid to late 2000s, so I don't know. I think it might vary from model to model.
Hmm.
But I know that's something like if you're actually thinking about buying an old pair of shoes like that, like it's something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure ones don't have that issue because of like the rubble or the rubber in their midsole is not really that type of rubber. I could be totally wrong. I don't know, spreading misinformation out here.
Right.
But yeah, it's something I
I
know
try
it's
to
something.
watch how old of a shoe that I get.
Yeah, I
For
know it's something to
sure.
be aware of, and like I've been tempted. They had one at Index for a little while. It was like I think it was a Jordan 10 Shadow from 1994, and I was like, oh, that's cool. What was it? Did the 10 come out in 94? I think it did.
I do
I
not know
think
that.
that I think it was 94, maybe 95. Whenever the 10 came out, it was like an original one. And I thought,
Yeah.
oh, that'd be a cool pair of shoes to have. And then I started reading about it. It was like, oh no, that's gonna fall apart. I can't wear that.
Yeah.
That would just be a on the shelf
Yep.
type of shoe. And I was like, I don't know. I like to
Mm.
wear my shoes. I don't want to just have
Yeah.
something hanging around collecting dust.
We get our shoes to wear them, so.
Yeah.
And I've actually worn these ones quite a lot.
Yeah, I've seen you wear those a bunch. I mean, you've had them for like a year. You used to wear them on
Yeah.
stage a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah,
They're
like they're
so
not
comfortable.
unwearable. They just like it's just sad because there's like little bits and pieces kind of falling off.
Yeah. And the
It's like,
fact that I've
oh,
had to like glue the sole back on a few times is not didn't make me happy. But
mhm.
I was stoked to be able to get them, and I thought it was fun. It was a fun pair of shoes. I was excited when I found them too because it did take quite a bit of digging to find them, to find a pair.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like $87. So whatever. That's not that big.
Yeah, so they weren't crazy expensive.
But like the ones that are on there right now, like I would not drop $350 on these. There's no way. I mean, there might be like,
that would be really disappointing if you drop $350 and then they start falling apart.
yeah, I'd be uber bummed on that. That's not something I'm.
Mm-mm.
What's the oldest pair of shoes? Like how old? And when you're just, what's your cutoff? Like, do you have like a time that you?
Like if I was shopping for a pair of shoes and I noticed that they were a certain age, like when am I going to not buy them because of that?
Yeah, yeah.
I would say probably 10 years, honestly. I think I would Google it and I'd be like, hey, do old fucking Jordan 7s fall apart or whatever?
Yeah.
But like for the most part, yeah, I think about 10 years I would feel relatively safe. But even that, it would depend on the shoe.
Yeah.
I think it would really depend on the shoes. Like maybe some boots and stuff, like what we were talking about a few episodes ago, like those leather boots.
Yeah.
Like those as long as the leather was cared for, I could see buying something like that that's kind of vintage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you just condition leather, it'll last forever. You know,
Yeah.
or at least a really long time. And if the sole is fucked up, you can just get a new one, put on it,
re-sole it. Yeah.
Re-sole it, and you're good to go. So those kind of shoes I could see going way further back if you found something that was like really, really dope. But yeah, with sneakers, maybe 10 years is the most, I would say.
I feel like after this experience, I wouldn't even go 10 years. Like I think 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like less than that. It's like if I'm looking at a pair and it's like, oh, this is 5 years old. I'm like, you know what? I'm not, because I'm planning on actually wearing these. So
yeah, I feel if I'm going that far back though, it's for like a specific shoe that hasn't been released since.
Right.
You know,
some wild colorway.
Sometimes and then it's one of those that like if I'm going to go through all that trouble, it's probably not a very common shoe. It's probably something I'm not going to wear a lot.
Yeah.
So I might be willing to roll the dice as long as I get it in like dead stock condition, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And wear it sparingly, at least until it's proven itself to be, you know, still holding together.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Or look it up. And if it's going to fall apart, then I'm like, I don't need it.
Like maybe not do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I discovered this thing. Well, I didn't discover it. My partner discovered it. I thought he got them for me. He didn't. Got them for himself, but I partook.
What is it?
Dude, it's a sparkling HopTea. Have you ever even heard of this?
No. So
it's black tea, sparkling. So sparkling black tea. It's got tons of caffeine in it. No sugar, no calories or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's made with hops. And
so it's.
Does
it taste like an IPA?
Dude, it tastes like an IPA. It tastes like sipping an IPA, but it's just a black tea. And they have they have a chamomile one, a white tea, a green tea, and a black tea. The only thing that you got to be careful about is like my old habit was like drinking a beer in the evening to kind of, you know, settle down. This is a straight up black tea. This has so much caffeine in it. Well,
yeah, that's 16 ounces of black tea. That's pretty much like a cup of coffee.
What's 70 milligrams of caffeine? That's what this has.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like a cup of coffee. Like a regular size cup of coffee.
But it's so bizarre. It just tastes like an IPA. It's super. This one is incredibly bitter. Because also there's the bitterness of the tea that kind of goes together with the flavors.
So it's no sugar in there. So it's just all bitter.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of good.
It really, like, it straight up just tastes like an IPA. I can't describe it any other way. The other teas, the black tea tastes like an IPA. The other ones kind of taste like a Pilsner or something like that, like a little bit less bitterness, but this one has a ton of bitterness. But I'm hyped on it. It's called Sparkling HopTea. It's out of Colorado. Very cool. They did not pay us to say that. We actually paid for that. But like, I've been, trying not to drink. And so it's like a fun option that really, like, I don't know.
Something to mix it up so you're not just drinking like LaCroix or soda.
Right. I'm so tired of like sparkling water.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
could see
like,
that.
but this is nice because you sip it the same way.
Hmm.
It's cool. It's
Yeah,
very
it
cool.
does sound like a good beer substitute, other than the caffeine. Because I'm like you, like when I drink, it tends to be at night.
So,
Once I'm done doing shit for the day,
mhm.
and I can like sleep it off,
Yeah.
so that I don't like day drinking. Always ends up being like I'm hungover
Mm.
at like 7 p.m.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
That's the worst. Like I don't mind
am
like
I
being
hungover right now?
yeah,
I thought
like
this was supposed
it's
to happen
fun. It's
tomorrow.
fun to drink at like noon, you
Yeah,
know, and you're like just kind of tanked on a Saturday afternoon. Like that's a great time.
yeah.
But then you're hungover on Saturday evening. And so Saturday night sucks because you're trying to get to sleep with a hangover as opposed to sleeping through the hangover.
Like parts of it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the wrong part of the drinking cycle. To like it throws the drinking cycle off. The
yeah.
drinking cycle should be drink, 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 sleep. Wake up hungover, go back to sleep. Wake up hungover, go back to sleep.
Try to go to
Just
work.
keep sleeping. Just keep sleeping till you're not hungover.
Yeah.
Or if you have to go to work, then you're just gonna suffer and tell yourself you're never gonna do that again.
Right.
Wait a couple months and do it again.
A couple months. Ooh, boy, you are not the same as me. Mine would be like, I'm never drinking again. And then, like, by that evening, I'd be like,
That
well,
evening,
I'll
you're.
have one.
Well, yeah. I
I'll
mean,
just drink light beer.
you need one to get rid of the rest of that hangover.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had that logic loads of times.
Yeah. I haven't been drinking for a while now, so that's cool.
Yeah, you're going on most of a year now, right?
Almost.
Nice.
Yeah, almost a whole year. So that's cool.
Hell yeah.
All right. So if someone broke into my house and stole these shoes
Mhm.
and I was going to replace them, I'll be totally honest, I probably wouldn't replace them.
Just because they're old and falling apart.
They're old and falling apart. Now, if those shoes came out, yeah, I'm buying all the colorways of these shoes that come out, depending on how many. I guess if they go kind of
Listen
crazy.
up, Nike.
Yeah.
We'll buy these shoes. If they
I
drop, we'll buy them.
My friend knows the designer of these shoes.
Oh yeah,
And
I think you told me about that.
yeah, so I'm gonna try and get him on the podcast one of
That'd
these
be
days.
really
I think
cool.
that would be really cool. So we'll probably
Yeah.
bring that shoe up again because he now has his own shoe company.
Mhm.
And I got a pair of those.
You
so
bought a pair of those,
I
so
did.
yeah, we'll talk about those. Like if we have him on the podcast,
Yeah.
you can talk about having worn his shoes.
Absolutely.
That'd be really cool.
All right, I think
right.
that's gonna do it for this episode.
Want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'll wrap it up. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We have new episodes every Wednesday. And if you're liking the podcast, enjoying it, share it with a friend and review it on Apple. Give us a 5-star review if you're digging it, and leave us a comment or something. Maybe we'll read it on air if it's awesome.
It's hilarious.
If it's good,
if
bad,
it's,
whatever.
If it's just hateful, pretty much anything.
Just
If we get a
anything.
hilarious comment or a positive comment,
good podcast.
pretty much any. At this point, if we get any comment,
we're gonna read it.
We'll be reading that shit.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Bye.